Good morning. Here I am from the East Coast, coming to you from the island of Manhattan, New York City. So even in New York City, world's most expensive city, you actually can surprisingly find some very rare tropical fruits. Sugar apple. I have yet to find a place outside of Florida that carries fresh sugar apple. New York City has them. Longans, of course, you practically can find these anywhere. And then, every once in a while, a diamond in the rough. If you walk past these, you would think that, oh, they're nothing fancy. They're just oversized grapes, right? But you would be so missing out. Jaboticaba in New York City. Yeah, something about the tropicals. It's got its own, its unique taste. I mean, this is, it's tropical. I mean, it tastes nothing like grapes. It is, if you ever had a Sonam cherry, it's got that aftertaste effect. If you ever had a Capulin cherry, tastes just like it. And then, of course, the almighty sugar apple. So, admittedly, I'm 99% certain that you can't grow these here. But there is that 1% chance that, you can. Just because New York City is, I mean, it snows here. It is just too cold. But in our climate, yeah, you definitely can grow all these here. In fact, they actually thrive in our environment once established. That being the case, I'm pretty sure all the tropical fruits that you see here originated from Florida. It is technically within driving distance, so I could imagine it being shipped in a truck and just driven up here for cheap. When I say cheap, I mean I even though this is technically perhaps the world's most expensive city to live in, the produce is, and I'm not exaggerating here, it is literally half the price when compared to the ethnic grocery stores in California. Yeah, this was, I mean, I got the whole thing and a lot of jaboticabas for $24, $25. I'm pretty sure if I were lucky enough to find these in California, it would have been upwards of at least $50. So for some reason, produce here is cheap, cheap, including your typical like Target, for example. The produce here is surprisingly cheap, in my opinion. So I guess that's one of the benefits of living in the world's most expensive city is cheap fruits, tropical fruits of all things. Yeah. So now, bear in mind, keep in mind, when I say these were likely shipped from Florida, do you know what that means? That means these did not have to go to customs, which translates to it not having, the foods not having to go to a hot water treatment or irrigation treatment or any treatment of some sort, which essentially kills off any pathogens, any insects in these, which has a negative side effect of also making it so where the seeds are no longer viable. If you try to grow mangosteens from freshly imported fruits, the odds are pretty good that you're not going to be able to succeed just because, again, through the irrigation process when entering the U.S., it just makes the seed not viable. These coming from Florida don't have to go to U.S. Customs because it's domestic, which would mean, in theory, once I take these guys home with me to California, I can plant the seed and it will, or it should grow. So that's what I'm going to do. And luckily for us, unlike Hawaii, the mainland U.S. is pretty relatively lax with transferring of fresh fruits from state to state. But yeah, I mean, the only other place that I was able to secure some fresh sugar apples was in Southeast Asia, where it basically grows there like in a while. But yeah, no, these are really, really good. Longans, everybody knows what longans taste like. Yeah. So while I'm here, just wanted to also talk about how my trees are doing in the West Coast. So I've been here for a while now. Now, luckily in my situation, I've got practically the entire front and backyard on an automatic irrigation system where the water kicks in every hour for a couple of minutes, depending on the zone, on the section of the yard. Now, that being the case, I also do have a number of seedlings in small containers that are not connected to my irrigation system. And for that, I actually jerry-rigged a little sprinkler contraption that essentially just, sprays them with water every now and then. Also every hour for, I want to say, 2 minutes. It just gets the entire spot nice and soaked, which is appreciated by these newly germinated seedlings, which, yeah, for seedlings, last thing they want is water stress. They need all the help they can get to grow. So yeah, so that's the contraption I've got a little, a swaying water contraption that just sprays the general area with a lot of water every hour. Seems to do the trick. And of course, one of the benefits of putting it in, having it irrigated the way that I've got it is it's practically a hands-off approach. When you look at it, I don't need to worry about having to water my trees, and it allows me to control my watering schedule, which is what the trees would prefer. These tropical fruit trees originate from a region of the world where rain is abundant, very light, but very frequently, as in it rains for 5-10 minutes and then it moves on, and then next hours it starts all over again. Rainforest, it literally has the word rain in there. So yeah, I mean, New York City behind me, that's very likely New Jersey. However, if you span around here, this is the Battery Park region. This is the financial district, Wall Street district region of New York. See that right there? One World Trade Center. It's it's the tallest building in New York. Exactly 1,776 feet. 1776. That year means something. But yeah, I mean, awesome place. Just a side tip. If you come here, learn to use the metro system. Do not rent a car and drive in the city. You are not going to be able to make it. And this is coming from someone who's driven through Los Angeles traffic to San Francisco traffic. You do not want to drive here. Instead, take a cab if you can, but better yet, take the metro system. Learn to use the apps that's on your smartphone. Those are going to be lifesaver. I mean, it tells you exactly what stations, what subway stations to take from your exact location, the amount of walking that's required, the exact and precise train to take, along with however many stops in between the destinations. Just learn to use the app. It's dirt cheap. We're talking $2.90 per ride, unlimited ride in that train. Once you exit the subway, just you pay again. But it's, in my opinion, it's dirt cheap. But yeah, no, I am enjoying the city. It's phenomenal. So anyhow, yeah, I just wanted to let you know, even out in the city, you are still able to find tropical foods for cheap, cheap. So anyhow, all right, have a good afternoon.